I have been here before talking about the paradigm shift that the church requires, the families require, and also our young people require, so that we can be able to have a cohesive environment for dialogue in this age and season. So with me here, I have Lucy on my right hand side. I have Churchill and I have TERESA, and they will introduce themselves. And before they do it, I just want to remind you again that my name is Faith Waraki. A doctor and a coach in a lot of things that we are doing, and in other areas. One of my feathers on my cap is I'm an engineer with a green tech and automotive engineering space, where we are talking about the e-mobility, circular ecosystem, renewable energy, and all these things, where we are trying to help our young people to understand that they need the hands-on skills so that they can fit into the marketplace right now. Among all other things, I'm involved with the intergenerational collaboration, where we are talking about intergenerational dialogue, because our generation and our children need it. And the minute we become intentional and deliberate and having the paradigm shift of our mindset that our children need a sitting and they require to be heard, then we will be able to move forward as a nation, as families, as a church. And so as we have this dialogue today, you'll be able to pick a few things that might help you, so that you can be able to understand that son of yours. You can be able to understand that daughter of yours. You can be able to understand why the nation is where it is today and why the world is where it is today. So we have these three special guests, and two of them working for an organization called Penda Watoto Foundation. Is a foundation that deals with a lot of family matters, mental health, opportunities for dialogue and conversations, opportunities for counseling, and then we have also one of us being a program manager with a Youth in STEM Network, an organization that handles the young people. So today I am representing the Divine Advocacy Network and also the Global Church Paradigm Shift and the Global Intergenerational Collaboration Dialogue. Thank you so much. So Lucy,
Yes.
welcome to Blossom Diaspora Media TV. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
You could introduce yourself to the viewers.
So thank you, Faith, for having me. My name is Lucy THIGA, Lucy Doty. That is my name. And I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. I'm so passionate about teens and youth mentorship, emotional wellness, mental health. I work with an organization called Penda Watoto Organization, PWF, or Penda Watoto Foundation, where basically we deal with empowering women, we deal with supporting women, and also as a community as a whole, we help children, especially vulnerable children, where we offer mentorship, where we do coaching. We work with the teens and youth, and we also help, we give a package to a family. So thank you again for having me as we continue with the debate.
Okay, Churchill, would you introduce yourself?
So hello viewers, my name is Winston Churchill MUREITHI, and first of all is to thank the organizers of this program for having me, for bringing me on board to share my views as a Gen Z in this generation. So I am the programs manager for Youth in STEM Network, and also Green Women Accelerator. I also do digital marketing services whereby I help brands actualize their potential, like online. For passion, I am into radio and media. So I do radio and media on the side. And today I'm looking forward to sharing my opinions on the topics that will be discussed. Kindly stick to the end. And if you have any questions, remember to put it in the comments.
Yes, we have our last guest, Teresa. You could introduce yourself. Welcome to Blossom Media TV.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is TERESA. I work as a programs director at PWF, where Lucy has expounded on what we do, but I would like to emphasize that we work with families so that we can be able to have a place where families meet and a place where families can give each other feedback in a platform that is friendly, and a place where we can have fun as families, because if you lose having fun as families, then we will not be able to move forward. I also work with Center for Domestic Training and Development as a shelter manager, where I also work with young people. So my life is surrounded by young people, and that is where my passion is. And I feel so energized where I work with young people and where I support families so that they can become high-functioning families. I hope you will stick with us to the end, because we have interesting conversations coming up.
Thank you so much. And viewer, you can see that you need to stick around to be able to hear the value and the input that this incredible team will share in the conversations that we are going to have. And as we move on, I would want you to pause a bit and check the disconnect that is there in families. Your view about why there is a whole gap between families, between a mother and a father and their children, and why this generation is pushing back the way they are pushing back. I would want you to think about limits and boundaries, so that when we touch on the word limit, when we touch on the word boundaries, you will start to understand the areas that we will be addressing when it comes to the misunderstandings and why we are advocating for a paradigm shift of how parents view their children, of how the youths or the children view their parents, and how we can establish a common ground where the type of conversations where each side feels heard can be done. So this whole program is to initiate that type of a dialogue where we are saying, look, we cannot take our stands and just be there and say, this is my stand as a parent. And I am on the other side of the table and saying, this is what I am saying as your mother. This is what I am saying as your father. We need to be able to tone down in a way that we also understand if they stood on the other side as our children and they say, this is what we are saying as your children, what type of dialogue can happen there. And so, Lucy, where you sit and in your experience and exposure, handling psychology issues and handling matters to do with parents, do you think that their boundaries have become so rigid? Do you think they have put their limits too high for their children?
Thank you for that question. From my interaction, when I'm doing parenting, coaching, or when I'm mentoring, even I'm psychoeducating parents on parenting, When we talk of this word called boundary, one, I would like to say, when we are setting up, or we are talking about boundary, we are basically saying that it's just a clear set limit that has been put that allow everyone in board or on board to feel heard, safe, respected, valued, all that. And where we are saying that this is okay and this is not okay. So this is, but it comes a time because we are raising children who we are not of the same generation, that we are raising them from a place of where we were raised. And that is where now there is a conflict. And that is why I want, as a parent, they want the boundaries to be very rigid, because that is how they were brought up seeing, or that is how they were taught. Mm-hmm. That when I say this is the rules, if you break them, this is the consequences. Mm-hmm. So it was a kind of a rule that was packaged and served to the children, mm-hmm. and you cannot go east or west from those roads. And this is what now we want to serve our children. But now, the children that we are bringing up or we are raising up, they are in another generation, a generation that knows how to speak for themselves. They express themselves. They are so much aware of, they are so much of emotional awareness, of mental health. So we are kind of conflicting because as we were not, the millennials and the parents, they were not brought up having, breaking the boundaries. But these one are trying. They are trying the authority and they are testing the authority and they are breaking them. So I will not say they are very rigid. What I would like to say, like, what it is there is the misunderstanding, the misinterpretation of what is a boundary. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Misinterpretation of what is a boundary.
Yeah, misinterpretation, because from the parent, they think observing the boundary and keeping them is a show of respect, is a show of obedience. But when we come to Gen Z, they are looking as boundary as from the sense of, I also need to be respected as a Gen Z. I need my space as a Gen Z. I know how to take care of my emotional wellness. I need emotional safety. I need emotional honesty. But this is things that parents were never, they were never brought up hearing. So that is where now the conflict is coming. So that misunderstanding and misinterpretation, if it can be removed, then we are good to go.
Churchill, can you confirm that that is where the misinterpretation is? Is it true? Would you confirm that? Being in a representation of the Gen Zs today.
I think first of all is to thank Madam Lucy for bringing the aspect of misinterpretation. Because you see, first we need to take a step back and understand that society thrives from a point of good and bad. That is the whole essence of morality. So when you introduce a boundary, it does not necessarily have to apply to me, because my understanding of good and bad is not the same as yours. Oh. But for us to have a coexistence, there are those specific things that we had to sit down from different generations and agree that this is good and this is bad. But in as much as life goes on, there is a shift in dynamic of understanding, whereby what was presented as bad is now comfortable. It might not be good, but it is now comfortable. So there is that change in the basic interpretation of a boundary, because a limit is only there if it applies to you. But to that person who does not understand why this limit is not there, they will not actually respect it. They will actually break that boundary. So it is for the older generation to come to terms with the fact that the Gen Z question the existence of these limits, of these boundaries that the so-called society holds as good and bad. Yeah.
The limit and the boundary. I don't know whether viewer you are writing notes, the good and the bad. What was good and what was bad in your time?
It is now the comfort.
It's now maybe the comfort.
Wow.
Do you think that the rigidity of families in embracing the dynamics of the change that has come are contributing into the chaos that are being seen?
They are. and in a big way. Because as families, we want to have boundaries without accountability.
Boundaries without accountability.
Yes. We want to put boundaries on our children because we are the parents. But when they demand accountability from us, that's where we draw the line. So what we are saying is that you cannot come late. But then when we are coming late from wherever, we do not feel like it is respect to inform them that mommy will be coming late today because she has gotten late from work or she'll be passing by somewhere. The father can come in at 2 a.m. And nobody can question him. So then how do we expect them to come home at 8? I mean, the father is coming home at 2. So where is our accountability? And then we are telling our children not to take alcohol, not to indulge in drugs. But then we have a whole bar. We even have a bar in the house. And we expect that there are boundaries. Yes, for us. So where there's fail for accountability, then boundaries and limits will not be reinforced, and they will not even be respected because they are not in tandem with how we are presenting ourselves. So as parents, we may need to present ourselves as accountable, and so that the boundaries and the limits we talk about will not be looked at as boundaries. If you look at how we grew up, there were very many unwritten boundaries, and you dared not cross them. They were not written. So why are we parents? And you know, in psychology we say if you have to shout, you have lost your power. So why are we shouting as parents? It's because we lost our power. And we have to say, this is my house. You have to do this. And it's because we lost our power. Because we have lost our accountability. We don't want to be held accountable. We want to do everything that we can do because we can, but we expect our children not to because we are the parents.
And also to add on that, just before we go away from that point of parents, it's good to actually analyze and say this, that being a parent is as a result of choice, chance, and blessing.
Oh, okay. Allow me to repeat that again. Being a parent is a result of choice, chance, and blessing.
So it is not something that is mandated to give you the authority to live on me, but actually to live with me.
To live with
because
you.
I am a product of your choice. That is how much power you have over my life. So if you do not provide me with an enabling environment to build myself based on the mistakes that you did, because we build from mistakes, we do not build from good things. We build from understanding this did not work, and now I need to do different. That's the whole point of evolution as human beings. So if you do not give me an enabling environment as a child to build upon the mistakes that you did so that I do not perform similar but better for my children, then you're actually ending the strength of your own bloodline.
Wow. That's hard hitting.
Yeah, that's a hard hitting.
That's really, really hard hitting.
You are adding the strength of your bloodline.
You are adding the strength of your bloodline. And that's why when they came out on the streets the other day, is because they found that we are at the edge of ending the strength of our bloodline. And their only way out to vent was to go to the street.
Sure.
But now this type of dialogues, these type of conversations that we are encouraging, that are intergenerational collaboration dialogues, will make us as parents understand that when they look at us and they find us at the cliff, where we are actually doing the suicide action of ending the strength of their bloodline. When they are still alive, they will actually wake up and arise with a certain anger, with a certain animosity that we are not understanding. But when we have such a conversation, when we sit down and understand, oh, it's actually us as parents who need the paradigm shift
Yeah.
of our thoughts,
Yeah.
of our mindset, of how we have viewed our children, that when we can have a dialogue.
Sure.
Lucy, what do you think?
Yeah, I echo whatever you have said, that it is us who parents who need to have the paradigm shift of our mind, the way we take things, and that calls for intentional parenting. Someone who is deliberately there to bring out, to raise a kid. Because if you fail to learn the tools, the modern tools that we can apply as a parent, and we continue using the ancestral tool, if I can call them so, then we are going to lose a whole generation. So by like what he has said, most of us parents, we are bringing on board our childhood trauma, things that we experienced when we were being raised up. And we have not processed them, we have not gotten healed out of them. So because we are just as raw as we were, no, we are bringing up another generation, and rather than impacting positively, we are doing it negatively, because we have not processed, we have not healed ourselves. And so I want to kind of pass on the trauma that I went through to my child. But this child is so emotionally aware, and they are so much conscious about mental health, and they know what they want. They are not like us. If you can remember, in our growing up, we were asked what you would like to become when you grow up, and we had so many answers to that. And I know most of us, we never became that thing that we ever said about our pilot, doctor, and all that. But that was then. But right now, a 12-year child knows what they want in life. So we are living in a very totally different generation altogether. And for us to come on board and to be able to walk like what he has said, that you are not supposed to walk over us. You are supposed to walk with me. We are supposed to walk together. It is not a conversation where I say, it is a conversation, it should shift and be like we bring on board. We bring each one of us on board, and now we are talking together. Not that I'm giving orders as parent. I'm not setting loads as parent. And I always say, as a parent, when you set loads, if they need to be set, you're supposed to follow those loads with explanation as to why I have done this. Because this is a generation that want to know, if you're telling me not to be late at night, why? I've been out at night at around 11 and nothing happened to me. So I'd like to know why. Are you saying it from the place of fear or love? That is what they are asking. And if you are not be able to explain it well, they will test the authority. They will come at 11. They want to see what can happen. I want to be out there at 11. I want to see how wild it is at 11. Because this is what mom has been saying. Don't be out there. But with no explanation. So they need someone who is very intentional, who is very deliberate, even to know, like now, joining this kind of a conversation, getting to know some of the tips to apply on parenting. Yeah.
Wow.
And just to shed light more on why indeed we are talking about boundaries, I like seeing things from a point of 3D, from a third eye perspective, if I may say. Life is structured in a cross-diagonal manner. This is what I mean. The people who are in the forefront, the drivers of life, are the older generations, because they have been there. They know what's coming, based on my understanding. But when it comes to economic opportunities, it is us who are in the front line, because we are the ones who have strength, we have ambition, and we have the capacity to dream even bigger than the ones that were there. So life being cross-diagonal in that manner makes us go back to the question. Most of the arguments or the disparities that come in the family household come from a point of the parents saying they don't feel respected.
Yeah.
But the question I beg to ask is, should respect be earned or given? Number two, on that, how respect works is, once you earn it, you replicate it,
Sure.
and you also give to the others as is. So how I respect you as my mother, how I respect you as my father is the same concept I will bring to the society. Funny thing is, we live in a society that does not reward kindness. So that respect will be flawed. So as I come back home and meet the one who taught me how to respect and still find a hostile ground on the concept of respect, how then do you expect me to be different? I rest it there.
I think I love that conversation. And what is interesting is that they recognize that we are parents. They recognize that we have the authority. And they recognize that because of our age, we have the wisdom. But then they're asking, what are you doing with it? Yes, you have it, but then you're not living it. So what the young people are saying out there is that the world is hostile. The world is not kind to them. So we need to be kind at home. And if you listen and if you see the online conversations, most of the times I see the young people concluding when there are issues is that person did come from love. And I have been asking myself, what do they mean by that person did come from love? And it made even me go back to the Bible. And the Bible says that time is coming when there will be a hunger for love in the world. And it seems like the time has come that people are so hungry for love. And we are able to look at them and say, this one came from love, this one did come from love. The same thing that Churchill is telling us here, that we need to have an environment that is full of love. And if you look at the attributes of love, then respect is one of the key things of love, that we recognize that Churchill is unique, I'm his mother, but I don't need to lord of it over him. I need to recognize that, yes, I'm his mother, allow him to be. Allow him to make mistakes, but be there as a guide. They're asking that I be there as a guide, not as a lord over them. The other thing that I find very interesting with this generation is that their level of intelligence. I think we are listening to this young man, and we all agree that he's intelligent, and that is how they are out there. We are working with highly intelligent young people, and they're able to question, and they're able to see us through. Unfortunately, most of our parents are waking up one morning and realizing, what? I have a Gen Z in my house. And so what do I do with this one? And as PWF, we did a program during the April holidays.
Yeah.
And we were able to talk to young people. And the most interesting is that we said we'll give feedback to parents. And when we were giving this feedback to parents, the parents expected us to bash them. But what we did, we were very intentional. We just told them 4 things. One is your kids miss you. Because you could be at home, but your presence is not felt. You are there, but your children are missing you because you are so quick to give presents, but not presence. The difference between gifts and time. So the children, I don't care about your presence. For all they care, your presence is more important. Then we are saying, what are your expectations? We need to come to a table where your expectations and my expectations are meeting. Then we can be able to say, these are our boundaries. And then we're also saying that you as a parent, you need to be self-aware. Because the generation we are dealing with is so high on self-awareness that we are the ones who are not self-aware. So as a parent, you need to be self-aware. What is happening to me? When I'm shouting at my child, is it really my child or is it about my issues? Is it because my boss at work shouted at me and I have now to come and, we call it transference in psychology. I'm now transferring. And so my children are looking at me, and this generation actually tells you, Mom, you don't have to shout. Hata ukiniambia pole pole, I can hear. And they are wondering, so why are you shouting? In fact, they ask you, so why are you shouting? Is it really necessary for you to shout? And so you see those conversations. So they're wondering, why are you shouting? And remember, I started by saying, when you start to shout, you lost your power. So they are seeing you so powerless, and they even have to remind you, are you that powerless?
Yes,
that you have to shout.
But
But then they are saying, can you talk to me? Not at me, talk to me. And when you talk to me, then there's no need for you to shout, because we can discuss these issues. And sometimes even they tell us, Mom, listen. I'm saying first listen. You know, you are so angry, and they tell, Mom, can you first listen to what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we are not able to listen, and so that is where we are coming, and so the children seem like they are challenging the boundaries, like they are pushing the boundaries, but they are not. They're just telling us, go back. And when you realize that your child is having issues, they're not. In fact, they don't have issues. It is the systemic issues that are within the family that they are acting out. So if you realize you have a teen, you have a youth who is acting out, check your system before you go out and say, it's my child, he is refusing school, he's smoking, he's coming late. Check the system. How has the system fed them? Because you can only bring out what you have been fed. So the young people that we are seeing are bringing out what we have fed them. But unfortunately, now we want to stand back and say, oh, it is them. It is not them. It is a system. And because the family is a system, then we need to go back to the system. And we need to have that intergenerational conversations and dialogues.
And I like how you have actually put it out. And just to actually throw this back to you. Some of the programs that you're already doing with the foundation are helping the families.
Yeah.
And you have said in a very, very nice way that the parents actually expected that you will bash them. But you had only 4 things that you shared with them in a very, very loving manner. Do you think that some of the programs that you're having in the foundation would help in the intergenerational collaboration settings? Because I believe that this time has come and now that these dialogues are much more needed, because everyone is tired of the rush, everyone is tired of the chaos, everyone is tired of following up. What do I do with my children? What do I do with my family? And actually we saw it when each and every parent sat home to watch their televisions, to watch their children on the streets. That said it all. That actually the parents of these children are also tired, but they don't know how to do it anymore. So when parents were distributing the crisps together with their children on the streets, we already sent the statements out there that we are in a pit, we are in a hole. And actually our children are the ones that are actually getting us out of that hole. So do you think the foundation that you are in has the capacity to pioneer some of these dialogues? Do you have the programs in place? Do you have the expertise in place? If we were to say now we need this dialogue starting because they've already started, would you be able to actually do that? And I know maybe there is the criteria part of it. Maybe you would share a little bit of that so that the viewer sitting there may know that we actually have a solution. We are not just sitting here to talk about this is where the problem is, this is what the parents are saying, this is what the children are saying, but we are here to say we have a solution. Yes.
Yeah, we do. And one of the things that we have done as Penda Watoto Foundation is that we realize the information we gather out there is not for us. It's not only for consumption. And that is why when we have any meeting with parents, we must make sure we bring the parents on board so that we can have those conversations. We can have that feedback. That feedback is very, very important. And we come from a point of loving, not condemning the parent, because we also appreciate that the parent is dealing with so much. The parent is bombarded with a lot of issues surrounding them. So we also appreciate them. Then as a foundation, what we have done, we have come up with programs where we go out there and talk to people. And when we talk to them, we are not the people who will come and leave you like that. We will give you feedback and we will work with you. If you need any program that needs to be set in your organization, in your institutions, then at the church, we actually are able to do that. Then the other thing that we have done as Penda Watoto Foundation, we have expertise. We have people that we bring on board, and these people are able to help us to be able to build the foundation, but more so to be able to reach a bigger audience, because you realize we cannot reach everyone. So again, as we work with the church, and we work especially with the youth leaders. They help us to be able to understand what could be the issue. What could be the issue? If we come to the organization, then what are the issues that are ailing you? Because sometimes when you go to the workplace, and when we go to the workplace, we get very amazed. You are working with a generation that has earphones 24/7, and you expect them to work in teams. How? Then they are telling you, is it a must that we work together? I mean, you send the work on the group, we will work on a WhatsApp group or wherever. And then the HR is asking, but I need you people to work as a team. But then, where did we lose it? We realized that as parents, especially now the young parents, and that is where now as Penda Watoto we are moving, we are working with young parents, we stopped breastfeeding. And let's be honest, touch is a basic form of communication. When you touch your child, then you have started communicating. Our young parents, our young mothers are not even breastfeeding their children. We have bottles. I mean, will I not go for my sherehe because I have a small baby? No, I have to go. So I will express the milk and breastfeed. So as I do that, I lost the basic form of communication. And now these children have grown up and they have known with earphones, all is okay. I can shut the world. And so even as we go to the workplace, those are the issues that we are finding. And as Penda Watoto Foundation, what we are saying, we need first to bring people together. What is binding people together? Is it the instructions? Is it the work? Or is it relationship? So you realize that relationships are very, very important. The human connection that we seem to have lost somewhere. You have seen on social media, somebody dies, and you have 1,000 people going for their funeral, but then you hear this person died because they didn't have 5,000. They had asked for help everywhere. Nobody was willing to give them. But then within 1 week of their burial, 20 million has been raised. And you're asking yourself what happened. It's because we lost that human communication. But we lost it at home because I am busy. As a mother, I can't breastfeed. The father is also very busy looking for money everywhere. So as we do that, then we lose that. So as Penda Watoto, we are coming back and saying, can we help to build those relationships? Can we help to have that intergenerational conversation when we bring parents together? We are planning a breakfast meeting for parents and youth as Penda Watoto Foundation. And what we are looking to achieve is that we are looking to see, can the parents come? And we want them to have a small debate. We want them to debate on a table. It might be fireworks, but we are prepared for it. We want them to tell each other, this is what you're not doing well, and this is what you're not doing well. And then we say, guys, it's okay. We have wronged, but now we come. And we start the conversation, and then you're walking together. Yes.
I like that part. And Churchill, I know
Sure.
you're burning to actually add that. I
Yes.
know you're excited about that
I'm
breakfast.
so excited.
Some of the breakfast meetings we were having with Divine Advocacy Network
Yeah,
are actually to do with grief share.
true.
Grief share is where you have a family come and talk about how they feel about that loss. Because everyone loses their loved ones at a different level.
Sure.
How one child would lose their parent and feel is totally different than the other child. It depends with the connection, and I like the way Teresa has put it. And I love the fact that the foundation is thinking about having a breakfast, just to have a sitting.
Yeah.
And these intergenerational collaboration breakfasts are going to happen across the globe.
Yeah, they should.
Everywhere they will invite us, we will be ready to go and help them understand where the gaps are,
Sure.
where they lost their limits, where they pushed their boundaries, where they actually became too rigid with their boundaries, and where they actually transferred their fears and their trauma onto their children. So do you think these intergenerational collaboration breakfasts would help the youths, the Gen Zs? You are there representing them?
I feel they're just a tip of the iceberg to where the problem is. Let me take you back to the start of time, because everything has a beginning. Man was designed to serve. That was the whole essence of creation, to serve. As parents, we need to understand, or rather you need to understand, that you are the earthly God to your son and daughter. And you see, the diminishing culture that was there before was that the way my kids present themselves to the public is a showcase of how good I am as a parent. They come to church wearing nice clothes, then I am wealthy. They go to good schools, then I'm in a certain social class. They excel in life, I have also excelled in life. You tie yourself to the path of this child, forgetting that you have your own as a leader of the spirit of this child. So every child, or rather every young person, has a gift. But I usually tell myself that gift is a debt to the world, because it has to be repaid by serving through performing that gift.
Sure.
I am good at singing. I have a debt to make songs to uplift spirits in the world. I am good at leading. I have a debt. And this debt is not owed to the parent, but to God himself. Because when we are in that line, in that judgment line, it's not about who was your dad, who was what did they do, what did they not do. It is a matter of, I gave you 5 talents. Have you made 10? As a person. As a parent, you will be questioned. I gave you a child with the capacity to think in this manner. Did you build on it?
And that, just hold that thought. And don't you see as parents
Yes.
that we are awaiting a very huge judgment? When we look at our children, and what we are focusing on is maybe the dreads that they have put on,
Yeah.
and not the gift.
Indeed, yes.
Nurturing that
Yeah.
gift.
Indeed, yes.
What we are looking at is actually their tattoos.
Yeah.
And actually
And
asking
they're
them,
dressing.
how can you go and sing this way before people with your tattoos?
Yeah.
How can you go before people and do your guitar with
Dressed
your
like
dreads?
that. Yeah.
And I remember sometimes back we sat here with Honorable Ambassador Dr. Daniel Kwesi, who is actually pioneering the movement across the globe.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how our youths and our Gen Zs have been denied a chance in the churches to be at the front line, because at home they've already been judged. So when they come out, even at the church's platform, they feel already judged.
They're already judged.
So
Yeah.
their gifts, and I don't want you to forget what you were saying, so
Yes.
that you can go on about your talent.
Yeah.
Do you think we've killed those talents right from the home, our homes, where our children are?
Yeah.
Then they've come out to the world. The world has killed them, and now actually the government now says it's at your feet that we're gonna shoot you dead
True.
because we don't need you.
Yeah.
Maybe to add on to that.
Yes.
I listen to when we are baptizing children,
Uh-huh.
and I love to question the words. And one of the things that is said in that baptism, and even when we are bringing our children for confirmation, is that, do you agree as a parent to bring up this child for God?
Yeah.
That is one
Do you
question.
agree?
As
Do
a
you
parent.
agree as a
Let me repeat
parent?
it again.
To
Do
serve.
you agree as a parent to bring up this child for God?
Yes. So now then, as Churchill is talking about gifts, where did we lose that? Where did we own the children and forgetting that they actually belong to God? It's just that we have been allowed
And we are
an
just
opportunity.
custodian.
It's
We
just that
became
we
the-
have become
to
a
steward.
partnership.
Yeah.
They are steward by God to bring them up for Him.
Yeah.
So as you're saying, we'll be judged and harshly because we do not bring up children for God. We brought them up for ourselves.
Yeah. Rather, you
for
saw them.
ourselves.
You actually saw them as an investment before you saw them as a gift, as a blessing, as Lucy is saying. And you see, there's a reason why even curses were put to the 4th generation, because to whom much is given, much is expected. You've been given a child with a certain capacity. If you do not steward them to serve the realms of men in the ways that needs to be served, you're the one to blame, because they did not come to the world knowing what to do. Because even when you buy a car, when you buy an electronic, it comes with a manual. Once it breaks down, you refer where?
The manual.
Once
Once you see the
exactly,
dashboard line.
yeah, you refer to the manual.
Yes.
As a child, as a young person coming up, my manual is my parents. It is where I learned how to speak, to know what to say, how to say it, and to what extent to say it.
And because
But
the manual is
not working, it's not actually, going as per how it's supposed to be done in tandem, then how do you expect me to succeed? I will be left at the mercy of the hounds in the world.
And do you think, and I know Lucy, we will be go there, because I know some of the mental cases and some of the challenges mentally for parents to absorb that is actually the truth, that we've been given an opportunity to steward our gifts, but we've made them investments, as he has said.
Rather than a blessing.
Rather than a blessing.
Yeah.
And again, we as the manuals, the manuals have backfired.
Sure.
They are already malfunctioning.
Wow.
In fact, the manuals are not there, so to speak. And yet, we have not improvised or thought about it to actually say, can we go back to the drawing board and remember who actually ordered this gift? Who actually gave me this gift? Where did I get it from? Because I did not get it on my own.
Sure.
It was actually given by God, isn't it? So are we at that juncture where we need to accept the truth that the manual is malfunctioning, or it has backfired, or it's not
It is not even
there,
there.
and now we go back to the drawing board and look at who actually gave us these children? It's God. So what is God saying about this gift? And at least look at God's manual, which is this Bible. You can give me this Bible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is this Bible. And maybe check again. Have we gotten into a lot of religion, a lot of denomination, and then we have tried to actually coach our children to plug into the religion, to plug into the denomination, instead of telling them this is the actual manual. Can they lead it for themselves? And have a personal relationship with their maker, where we are now telling them, actually, I got you, but it's God who actually gave me you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so we can both together agree to look at who God is.
Yeah.
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 So,
agree.
because maybe my own view of God is totally different. But if we sit with my daughter and my son and read the word and look at what the word says about children, we might be able to pick something or two that will build our wisdom into starting afresh. And that's why we are saying some of the mental issues the parents are carrying, do you think some of them are just in their own making then?
It's a yes and no, because some of the mental disorders are things that these parents are carrying. Some are of their own doings and makings, because they have refused, like what you are saying, to refer the children to the owner. We have seen the children as our own investment, like it is me who gave me. It is, and actually that is what they always say, I gave back to you, so I'm entitled. Rather than seeing that there are others who do not have those children, so you're not even entitled. It is God who decided to bless you. So you see them from the lens of a blessing, not entitlement. And another thing is, I have written a book. I didn't say that I'm an author. And at one of the chapters, I have said there is a time that the Gen Z start questioning about the religion. You know, we were brought up believing this. Is it actually the right thing to believe in? And when it reaches there, we see them as Liberians. And we say they are disrespecting us. But rather, they are fighting themselves. They want to know God by themselves. That this is God that mom presented to me. That this God is so mean. You know, the kind of a God sometimes we present to our children, that this is God of disorder. He actually And I have come to know that he is the author of order, not of confusion. But I have been knowing all along that this God is this. So I want to know by myself, who is this God? What are the attributes of this God? And when it comes to that point, we see our children as like they are rebellion, or they are disobeying us. But we are supposed to help our children get to know God by starting it at our homes. Not preaching to them, but letting them discover who God is together with us. You know, as a parent, you are not a preacher in your home. We can say you are the priest, but you are helping the children to come to discover who God is by themselves, because at a point, you will not be there. And if you are only surviving by the faith and the beliefs that I had, and when I'm not there, what will you be? You get it? So from the primary, level, and that is our homes, we are supposed to, like what Churchill is saying, we are supposed to bring God as a blesser. That yes, you are my daughter, you are my son, but I know I don't own you. There is that one who gave me you. And so I have an obligation to bring you in his ways. And that is why Teresa was saying, we are asked, will you bring this child in the ways of God? And unanimously we say, yes.
True.
The thing I would want to add is maybe are we asking parents what they don't know, because they have not lived. Because we could be asking, and that is now where I feel for parents who are not woke, as the generation would call us.
Yeah.
In terms of, are we requiring of them something they are not? Because they learned not to even negotiate for their own careers. You remember, they learned not to even choose their own careers. Because your parents said you have to become a doctor, it wasn't optional. And I know, because I have walked that journey. When I was choosing to become a counselor, everybody told me, "Now you're on your own." I had to take myself through school because I was fully convinced I want to become a counselor. But then when our children come, and I have seen many parents, when children have gone and up to the university and they have gotten an engineering certificate and they have brought it back home. "Mom, this is yours. I'm going to pursue music." Because we are requiring of parents something they have not lived. Our parents, or us as millennials, we never learned how to speak up for ourselves. We were to be seen and not to be heard. But now we are requiring our children to also do the same, to be seen and not to be heard. But they are telling us that that time is up. It's up. You guys need now to allow us to be heard. So maybe we also need to say that we need to go out there and equip parents. Parents need the equipping, and parents need the equipping with a lot of love. They are really struggling with themselves. They are really struggling even with finding themselves. And you find a parent has been in nursing for 30 years, but they are very unfulfilled, because that's not what they chose. So you can imagine that unfulfillment is what they are bringing home. So at home, they'll be very unsettled. They'll be very grumpy. They'll be very angry. They'll be very irritable, because they have lived their lives pleasing others. So because their parents have lived their lives pleasing others, they don't understand why you can't sacrifice for others, even you as a child. So maybe we need to equip parents to become high functioning. But more so to say, as a parent, I haven't lived my life the way I would have wanted to live. Can I allow my child now to live their lives? Because I didn't get that opportunity. So maybe we are asking them to bring up children for God, but we were not brought up for God. We were brought up for our parents. And that is what Churchill was saying. We are living, they are living for us, but then they are saying it's not working. I work kabisa. I work kabisa. It's not working.
As Teresa was sharing, I remembered behaviors are learned, unlearned, or relearned. So we learned some behaviors when we were growing up. And at one point, we have refused to unlearn. Because until we choose to unlearn some of these behaviors, we will never have that good relationship with the Gen Z. And Gen Z has to also have to be patient with us enough to patient with us to help us to come to terms that whatever I was brought up believing could be, it cannot work now. And so I have to start unpacking. I have to start unlearning the things that I was taught. And that is why we are calling up Cheze, that sometimes it is not that we are becoming too, what can I say, too strict to them because we want. It is because this is the only way that we know. Because this is how we were brought up. So until we reach a point that we come to learn what, like what TERESA is saying, like the parents come to equip themselves with the new tools to use for this generation, then there will always be that kind of a conflict. Biblically, the Bible says that bring up children, you should respect your mother, you should respect and honor your mother and father. But the same Bible also warns the parent, yes, into anger. You get it? So we have been told to take care of the emotions of the children, to offer the emotional safety, you know, a very safe place for them to express themselves emotionally.
And that's why we are saying, and I know Churchill, you will also check to confirm that.
Yeah.
The environment at home may not be conducive for our Gen Zs, and our children right now, because there is work to be done. Really work to be done.
Sure.
And that's why our children have said, haiwezi make,
Yeah.
haiwork. Hata ujaribu namna gani, haiwezekani. I have very many who come and tell me, Mom, others call me, Madam, hii kitu usijaribu hata kuianza. Because we understand that the feedback is coming, and it has been coming. Because we sit here because we have feedback. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here
Sure.
for the show. We have feedback. There is what we are doing. There is what we have tried to do, and it's not working, and we have the feedback. And what we are telling the viewer, what we are telling the churches, what we are telling the organizations, what we are telling other foundations that are handling youths and the children, that are handling matters, women, families, and all that, that we are here, that they can reach out to us
Yeah.
to understand the type of tools we are recommending.
Yeah.
Because if it is not working at home, Churchill,
Yes.
and if it is not working at your friend's home, who is your Gen Z, where are you going to get the manual to actually know how you're going to maneuver?
Yeah.
And that's why we are saying in these dialogues, we have platforms that we are willing to roll out in partnership with the organizations that may need such a conversation to help their families that are in those organizations, to help the organizations that are in their partnerships, to help maybe the foundations or the companies that are dealing with issues that concerns the young people. And I like what TERESA was saying, that these are people who are strolling into their workplaces with earphones. And you as a manager, you are sitting there. It really, it puts you on an edge to actually tell her, remove the earphones, I am here. Because they are not actually seeking for attention.
Yeah.
They are asking you to be intentional, to understand that they are in a different world. But how do we teach them? How do we give them a place to be able to vent and speak and say, the problem is here, and they're listened to?
Yes.
It is in these dialogues that we are saying that we are encouraging a paradigm shift. So when you come into these conversations, you have to come changed. Because if you come with the notion that you have heard about your children and what you have seen at the social media and what your neighbor is saying, you might not get it. Do you think, Churchill, in these dialogues, in these breakfast platforms, in these dinner sessions that we are going to have our viewers reaching out to us, do you think that it will help?
Yes, I do. And to champion that, I'd like to say change is inevitable. When when we are asked to give space for the older generation to unlearn some things, I think first is for them to understand we live in a very fast world.
There's no time.
That's really something they need to understand. And as Gen Z, we usually have a saying where we say, the family where I came from is not as important as the family that I'm going to build.
Say it again, kindly.
The family that I came
The
from
family I came from
is not as important
is not as important
as the family that I'm going to build.
Wow.
Okay? And because we do not have that information on how to build what's to come, because you understand, if you have a son, you're raising a potential husband.
Sure.
If you have a daughter,
Of some
potential
daughter
father.
yeah, of some daughter somewhere, or even more than one, because we need to come to terms with that. Yeah, because true, because we live in a generation where marriage is a construct. It is what you perceive of it. Let me take you back to where it all began. Religion, controversy or not, was a structure of control. Salvation is what freed us. So if you build on religion, then marriage becomes a very sensitive topic to bring to the society. But when you talk, like about marriage from a point of salvation, then you now open the doors for people's mind to exercise the ideologies that are in marriage.
Okay. I don't want us to go into that bit.
Yes. So
Deeply.
So the whole concept coming from that is the understanding that at one point or the other, I will be standing in front of my family as a leader, as a parent, yet the information that is required of me to know has not been provided because I've been seen as an investment. That is why I was told to do medicine and not music. I was told to dress like this and not live like this. So I will be standing there with a heart soul, an unheard voice. And who will I project to? Normally the person who is projected is the weakest. The children, the wife, the society. Why do we have bad leaders? They were not born bad. They were made to be that. Why do we have systems that don't work? It's because the people in charge of creating them at some point personalized them instead of leaving them to evolve as people come. So as parents, I'd like to ask them is, be part of these dialogues and understand that in as much as you are growing into the age where you're going to retire and all, you have not stopped growing. Your mind is still fluid. You can learn in the pace that is required of you. And by that is to mean that for you to learn is to first internalize and accept that you do not know.
Hold that thought.
Maybe.
Teresa, that thought
I'm listening.
that our children are telling us that you don't know. Do you think that's where the limits need to go down so that now we agree, yes, we don't know. Up to here, we do not know.
What Churchill is saying and what the Gen Zs are telling us, we cannot allow you to bring us into your dysfunctionality. That is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, true.
Your dysfunctionality is too much. Deal with it. But remember, time is moving.
It's moving.
So we don't have the laxity of time and we will not wait for you. But then we need to ask ourselves, then what next? Yes, because they have told us your dysfunctionality, your traumas, whatever, deal with them. We are not ready to come into your mess. So what they are challenging us is to have authenticity in our families.
Exactly.
And they're also challenging us to have integrity in our families. They are saying, if I am the guild, if I come from the PCA church and I'm the women's guild chairlady, they need to see that chairlady in the home. They don't want to see a very perfect husband and wife on Sunday, but Monday to Saturday, it is a boxing field.
Yes,
That is
yes.
what they are saying.
Yes.
And again, what they are telling us is that we need to live family. So that then they can have family moving forward. Because what he's saying is that they're now not desiring marriage. They're not desiring family because we haven't lived family. So can our families be full of love? Can we never have hunger for love in the families? Because if we do, then we are seeing very ugly things, Faith. We are seeing fathers sleeping with their daughters because the hunger for love is too much. We are seeing our young men getting married to older women. It's just the hunger for love. And the Bible had prophesied about it. So what we need is to bring back love to the family and say, in our families, we become intentional parents, as Lucy put it, that in my family there will never be hunger for love. Let my children know they are loved, and they are not loved because they can come with good grades. They are not loved. They are not loved because they can come with good grades. They are not loved because they don't have tattoos or dready or wherever, but they are loved because they belong to this family, and love is a function of the family.
Wow.
Yeah.
As we finalize that, picking from what she has already
Yes.
said,
I would like to
love
add,
is a function of
Family.
family.
I would like to add what TERESA has said before we finalize that even as we are showing them the boundaries, we are not supposed to crash on their self-worth.
As we show them the
And
boundaries,
putting the boundaries,
as
we
are
have to
putting the-
protect
we
their
have
self-worth.
to protect their self-worth.
Correction should not come from a place of clashing with their self-worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Correction should not come from a place of crashing
Yeah.
their self-worth.
Yeah.
Wow. Churchill, you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think the icing on the cake in that conversation is, I think as a people, we forgot the foundations that we built. This is what I mean. There's this saying in our cultures that from soil I came and to soil I'll return.
Sure.
As a parent, teach your child to live within their mind, to be able to analyze situations from a point of stillness, because that is the whole essence of life, stillness. From that peace, they can be able to build. But from the chaos around them, they will always seek validation outside. And we live in a world where everybody is talking about everything, about everyone, and about every single item that is on the table.
Wow.
So there is so much information, but none of it is filtered. If you can teach them how to filter, even if God calls you tomorrow, you will rest easy knowing that your child is destined for greatness.
In the midst of chaos, they will
Peace.
find an opportunity to be still.
To be
And the
still.
Bible reminds us,
Be
that
still.
be still,
Be still.
and know
I
Yeah.
am
that I am God.
That is the goal.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the goal of life.
In your half a second, as you wrap it up, Lucy, would you invite the audience into some of the programs, some of the initiatives, and as we continue having this program here, we will unveil some of these programs.
Yeah.
And as we talk about the paradigm shift that our families are required to start adopting, we will tell them we have a safe space that you can be coming at least so that you know where you need to tie your loose ends and to untie. Because we are almost time bad now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. As you wind up, I would like to say thank you for having me. And as a PWF, as you were told, we are preparing, or there is a prepared breakfast show that we are about to tell you the date, where you can come and learn about these tools that we are talking about. Could be we are talking about equipping, and could be we are speaking about unlearning, and you don't understand. When you come there, we shall create a very safe space where you can ask questions and there will be experts who will be answering you. So you'll go home very much equipped. So in PWF, you can get me. You can also, I also do individual counseling. I do group counseling under the organization and as a person. I'm an author, as I said. I have written 2 books, Between Dreams and Deadlines, and another one called Still Becoming, because we are still becoming. And Between Dreams and Deadlines, basically it is for the young people, anyone that want to fight themselves, because they reach at a place they are between dreams and deadlines. You're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have graduated, but they're still going. So how can you find yourself? You can read this book and it looks like a manual or a guide that will direct you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Churchill, you know you're the one who has left us with the steel.
Yes, yes. First of all is to thank everyone watching for taking your time to listen to us. I'd like to say that in as much as there are so many controversies going around, indeed there is no manual to life. Intelligence is not something that you're born with. It's something that you build. As a parent, as a young person listening to me. Number two, the world is evolving towards STEM, AI, and mobility. That is actually the next global paradigm shift in terms of everything that you know and that you will know. It will all fall under there. So from Youth in STEM Network, we ask you to follow our pages so that you are in the tabs of what we do. We have a workshop coming on Monday in Thika Road, Nairobi, Kenya. And we have a curriculum coming on board. And we have done so much along the lines of STEM e-mobility. Take your phone, go to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, search for Youth in STEM Network, or Google our website, youthinstemnetwork.com or greenwomenaccelerator.com, and you'll be able to see the programs that are there, that your son, that your daughter, that your nephew, that your niece, that you yourself can be part of in the next global paradigm shift of STEM, e-mobility, and AI. Thank you.
Wow. Teresa.
Wow. I think as we come to an end, I would want to invite every parent and every young person to start forgiving each other. I think we begin from a point of letting go. So let go and forgive your young person today. And as a young person, forgive your parents. They didn't know. Let's begin from that point of forgiveness so that we can now start building families. And as a parent, don't feel small to say sorry. Just go and tell your son, I'm sorry that I have not brought you up in the way I should have. Allow me. Can we walk this journey? And when you do that, it starts healing. Healing can only come to families when we forgive each other and we allow love to become the function of families.
Wow.
Thank you and God bless you.
Wow, what a crowning, viewer. I am double sure you've been glued there listening, and you've taken a lot back to your heart, to your mind, to your thoughts. And we will be here every Thursday. Please lock your calendar, lock your phone so that you don't miss it. All what we are saying is forgiveness, love, and actually a paradigm shift from how we have looked at things, our families, our young people, our Gen Zs. And again, reminding you that you might not know where to start. We are here. We will help you know where to start. We will walk with you. We will not talk at you, but we will talk with you, with your Gen Zs, with your families, and help you navigate this long road, because it really requires to start and now. So thank you once more again, Blossom Diaspora Media TV, for giving us this platform. And we are happy to actually see a changed nation and a changed world. Thank you so much. Thank you for being there, and thank you for watching.
Blossom Diaspora Media, testifying to the good news of God's grace. Blossom Diaspora Media, testifying